out today. Thanks very much.
From industry, I would just like to support the department on what they're doing. We have the support of all the industries to support government, and we all agree that we need to resolve the solution, or find a solution to this and resolve the situation as soon as possible. And the commitment shown by all parties this morning gives me great hope that we will be able to find a very quick solution to the situation. And I would just like to reiterate what the Minister said, that FMD has no effect on human beings. There is no risk of anybody contacting anything. FMD is not transmissible to humans, so please enjoy your meat, have fun, and enjoy your braais. Thank you.
As the Ambassador of Food Security in Africa, I just want to congratulate government and the captains of industry for coming together and to start speaking in one voice, and also to the media. We thank you very much for the important role that you're going to play for us, especially in getting messages to the rural poor where there's no communication. So communication is very important right now so that people understand, have a better understanding of what it's all about, so that it doesn't create any panic. So I thank you all once again.
Thank you very much. I will allow 5 hands for questions, even if it's a comment, and then we'll take it from there. We'll get responses, and if there are follow-ups, we'll then take that and come up. I see the first hand, the second and the third, fourth one, and the fifth one. Let us close it there. We'll then take the second round after that, in that order.
Thank you. Can you just enlighten us a bit on what was discussed in this morning's meeting?
Okay. The next one will respond collectively.
Yeah. It's Rodistan from The Citizen. I just wanted to know how this, or how much this has cost the country and the industry, and if this will have an effect on the price of meat in general.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm Derek van der Walt from Communications. How is the process going to be with regards to the OIT from now on? What must happen before we are declared free again?
Yes. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Joyce from ENCA. It's been around about a week now. I just want to find out why has it been so long before industry has, the department and the industry actually got together? What was the reason that, just to add on to what Rudy also said in terms of the economy, the scale of the economy, how it affects the country?
Thank you very much. Oh, okay.
From ENCA, just to add on to Rory's question again, I just want to understand, it's been banned in some countries. What's going to happen here at home? Will we see maybe red meat being pulled off the shelves? What's the scope in that? And just how drastic is it in South Africa?
That was the last sense.
Mozambique is banning import of animal products and animal origins from South Africa because of the outbreak. Are you able to give us more info about this? Any contingency plan in place?
Okay, thanks very much. In no particular order, just to respond to these 5 questions, some of them are interrelated. Maybe the Minister will start first.
Thanks to the media. The first discussion was for the department to brief the industry of what has been ongoing, what we have been doing. And the reason we did not immediately call a press conference, less engaging the industry on one-to-one and depending on the companies, was to make sure that when we call this meeting, we are really clear of what the situation is, so that we are able to discuss something that is tangible. Remember, FMD has been discovered, but of course systems have been put in place so as to manage and monitor and ensure that it is contained, and we sustain our FMD free status. That's why we are always refusing to say there is an outbreak. There is a spillage of the disease, as it affects only a small amount of animals in an area that is having more population of animals. So the reason we met today was to look at ways, because now we know what we are dealing with. The report, because when you get a disease, first you must send the samples you have taken to laboratories. Only when the results come back and you know what you are dealing with, it has been confirmed. Can you call people to say, yeah, you are dealing with this, now we know what we are dealing with this. It was not out of undermining the industry or the public, but we wanted to report that which we know is backed by scientific research and as well as has been tested to be happening. And the other issues will be how to process. How the process is, we have modified the OIE. We've agreed that there will be one of the task teams will be to look at convincing our trading partners such that we retain the markets in where already we're having business with, so that we can minimize the impact thereof. As long as we can prove that the meat that we send to those areas is from compartments that are clear of FMD. Remember, we speak of one area in a country that has got big business operations. We want to make sure that we clarify this to our partners so that we know what we are dealing with. Of course, work is happening as we speak, as we have said in the statement, where we are busy vaccinating so that we can clean those animals that were identified to be infected, as well as the animals are quarantined. The issue is to make sure, therefore, that we clear the area and we know that there will be no further spillage or spread of the disease to other animals in that area. Other countries, yes, of course, other countries have issued statement to ban, but it remains a fact that FMD infected or meat with FMD infection does not kill, or that is safe to be consumed. It has got no impact on human beings. But nonetheless, countries will take precautionary measures. But of course, we believe that through strategic approaches, as well as dealing with the matter, I mean, the support from the industry is quite highly appreciated, as they have promised that they are going to make sure that skilled people are made available. The sooner we can quantify the number of animals, the sooner we can clear to know how many animals are affected, the better, so that we can be able to be ready for the OIE to come when they come to check when we have done everything. We believe that we have got the ability as a country to do everything possible. We do have the manpower, we do have the will. Together with industry, we are on one voice. We need to save the industry. We need to make sure that the markets we have been doing trade with are retained. On the issue of oranges, I don't think I can comment on that. There may be other reasons not linked to FMD that I think through intergovernmental structures, those will be clarified. We believe that this approach is not only going to be limited to South Africa. We believe that as a country neighboring with other countries, we need whatever skill we come up with. The aim of this is to make those that, among other things, the traceability of animals must be strengthened. The issue that we want to make sure that in areas where they are the free FMD zone areas will be demarcated by proper fencing. We are going to make sure that we improve our biosecurity measures. But in doing that, we'll share the expertise with our neighboring countries, so that as a region, we can be able to do trade with any other country globally.
No, thanks, sir. I'm not sure whether you were picking up on any point.
I think the minister's really said what he has. Remember that as soon as the OIE releases a statement that we have lost our FMD free statement, most countries will provisionally put in a ban on importing. But those negotiations will start from today. on what the situation really is. It's really countries trying to assess the situation, how bad the situation is. The reason they do not import meat from FMD positive zones is that it could infect their cattle populations or their pig populations or their sheep populations. It has nothing to do with the safety of the meat. There was a question here, will we see red meat being pulled off the shelf? No, we will not see red meat being pulled off the shelf because there's absolutely no reason to put it off the shelf. It is perfectly, perfectly safe.
Thanks very much. Just the second round. If there's any follow-up, we can observe that and possibly close after the responses. I can see the follow-up is coming. Let me give you the second position, the third one. Yes, my colleague there at the back. Can I close it there and allow you to then ask those questions?
Minister Rosa again. No, I asked how much it has cost the country or the economy. And as much as red meat won't be pulled off the shelf, will it affect the price of red meat?
All right. Yes.
Mulemo from SABC, it's also been reported that there have been no signs of the outbreak in Gauteng, but farmers have been warned to be vigilant. What are the signs that have to be observed?
Thank you. Yes.
Marika from Plus Media. I just want to go back to my question that wasn't answered. If you can tell us more about what was discussed with industry this morning and the plan going forward and some of the technical steps that will be taken.
Yes.
I'd just like to find out more about the task teams appointed. Will they be comprising only governmental people, or will there also be representatives from the industry itself? Thank you.
Thanks. Yes. In answering the last question, I will be answering the question before last. To say that one of the things we discussed after the briefing was to look at what can be done by both government and the industry. And a number of proposals were brought up. Hence, the formation of the task teams. The task teams will be task teams depending on the area in question. If we deal with trade, we need people who have got trade issues that they can come up and show and give comfort to those countries who are doing trade with, that it is fine and proper to still continue importing meat from South Africa as it is from zones that have got no FMD infections. Two, other people will be people like veterinarians, as we want to make sure that quicker we can clear the area and know that how many animals were infected and whether the quarantine problems have kept them in. And further to come with any other, because we're looking for the future, not only for the now, to say that it has this pillage has happened in Limpopo. Those lessons will be taken in dealing with future outbreak, not only limited to FMD, but to all animal diseases, so that as a country we can be sure that working with the industry. And in answering the first question, yes, in the process, we were working together. It was not a question of government saying the task team would be government-led. Both teams were from government and from the industry, depending on the expertise that we are looking for. But the aim is to give comfort. The aim is to ensure that people who are doing business with us, but also communities around which this spillage happened, can be comforted to the fact that anything we do is not meant to cause them a discomfort or to restrict. But again, the issue is about preventing the movement of animals, Ms. Mulimo, to say that it can only happen in Gauteng if a cow or a bull from an infected zone is transported to Gauteng without having been examined first, is how you can therefore transport it to Gauteng. So up to now, as it has been historically the fact, there are 3 provinces in which we have got FMD infection. We have been able to control and contain it in those areas. this is the first spillage that has happened outside the FMD zones. And we believe that we have the capacity, we have the will to make sure that it is contained, as again those animals are cleaned, and we go on to make sure that we are dealing with this. What this debate has triggered more is the need for South Africa to fast-track the process of producing its own vaccine for FMD, because we do have the know-how, we do have the expertise that are lying in one of our entities, that is Agricultural Research Council. So those are issues I'm saying in long term, now and forward. But it's not only to South Africa. On the issue of whether how much cost, we believe that depending on the number of animals that will have been found to have been infected, and again we're going to clean those animals so that they can be cleaned and again they can be sold in the future. Yes, a cost will be be there in terms of deploying personnel and also having vaccines, but already there are vaccines already that are already procured in Limpopo. We won't be ordering any vaccine for that particular purpose. But as to whether, and we don't foresee this changing the pricing method, because as we have said, it will remain proper and normal for you to have a braai without fear of any problem in terms of your health. So it's not going to cause any panic within the people, because it is clarified that it will not cause any health problems to people who eat meat.
Like the minister has covered.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Through you, Minister. Good afternoon. There was a question from the floor with regards to the clinical signs that people, and especially livestock owners, should be looking out for. Foot and mouth disease is called that exactly because it affects the mouth and the feet. That's where you would see the lesions. There'll be sores or blisters in the mouth, and there'll be blisters and sores between the hoofs of cattle. And it only affects cloven-hoofed cattle, those that have hoofs like that, and that is where most infection or clinical signs would be picked up. And I would like to reiterate through you, Minister, the safety of the product. Foot and mouth disease only affects cloven-hoofed animals. It definitely does not affect people. So the general consumer out there is safe to eat the product. Anything that is on the shelf and that will be put on the shelf from now on would be safe. We have an abattoir and inspection system in the country, so everything that goes out has gone through meat inspection, and we will not pass anything that is not fit for human consumption to be placed on the shelf.
Thank you. Thanks. You have addition? Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping that we covered all the questions. Yes. You are nodding. All right. We can only take only 3 hands now before we close. If there's any, and then we can then proceed. Yes.
Can I make a comment from industry side?
Okay.
It's a fact that some of the exports is coming back, and we export about 3% of local production currently. So the good news to the consumer is red meat will be cheaper on the shelves, and as we already know, there's nothing wrong with this meat, so that's good news for the consumer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Colleagues, thanks very much for coming for this press conference. We are hoping that on the basis of this, same information now is out, and any other misinformation will be corrected. As the Minister has said, the industry, government have agreed to form this technical task team that will work together on all these areas, including issues of trade. So thanks very much. We will further engage with you as we normally do. Thanks for coming. Thanks very much.
Thanks. I'm sweating.
It was nice and
We didn't do this because